Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Jakari Jackson. It's August 25th, 2014, and let's get straight into our news tonight. Our top story, maybe you guys have seen this video making its way around the internet. It's about James Foley getting beheaded by an ISIS militant. Now, thus far, I still have not been able to come across a full version of this video. And what I mean by full version is every time I see the video, whether it's on YouTube, Live Link, wherever, you see the guy put the knife to Foley's neck, and then it cuts. And it fades to black, and you come back with the image of the head on Foley's body. So with that in mind, we'll go to this article by Paul Joseph Watson. Confirming InfoWars analysis on Thursday, British forensic experts have concluded that the ISIS beheading video involving James Foley was in all likelihood staged, using camera trickery and slick post-production techniques. The international forensic science company, which does work for the police forces across Britain, found that the James Foley execution may have been staged, with the actual murder taking place off-camera, reports The Telegraph. The experts noted that despite Foley's executioner appearing to draw the knife across his neck area at least 6 times, no blood is seen. The video itself does not show the actual beheading, which is very suspicious to me. I mean, I don't want to say it's real. I don't want to say it's fake. I just like to hold my analysis of the actual video until I see the actual video, which I have not been able to come across as of yet. But that's not stopping people from, jumping on the bandwagon whole hog and saying, let's go to war with Syria. Let's go to war with all these other areas where ISIS claims to be active. Stage Foley beheading used as poster child for Syria attack. Senior Republicans yesterday cited the video and urging President Barack Obama to expand airstrikes targeting ISIS militants from Iraq to Syria. We need to expand airstrikes so you can ultimately defeat and eliminate ISIS, Texas Congressman Mike McCall told ABC. Don't kid yourself for a second that they aren't intent on hitting our homeland. I think the threat is very real. Senator Lindsey Graham, a longtime proponent of an attack on Syria, said that Obama should not consult with President Bashar al-Assad before launching the assault, which to me is a pretty big deal. If you're going to launch an assault, whether it's boots on the ground, whether that's an airstrike, you might want to consult with the president of that nation first. Just imagine if something happened here, and China, for whatever reason, wants to go to war with a particular entity inside the United States, not of the United States, but inside the United States, and they decide, let's just go bomb the U.S. People would have a problem with that. It's the same thing over in Syria. I don't think you can just come and bully Assad around. And that's not to say I'm an Assad sympathizer. I'm not cheerleading for the guy one bit. I'm saying that you need to have a proper channel of communication before you go bombing somebody's nation, especially when just a year ago you tried to say that he was responsible for chemical attacks, even though there's video evidence of these Syrian rebels funded and trained by the United States of America carrying out at least one of those chemical assaults. But I guess that all doesn't matter when you just want to go beat the war drums. And let's talk about the transition from the threat of ISIS to the threat here at home, more domestically, the threat of militarized police. Totalitarian state more dangerous in America than ISIS. And the article points out many good things on Infowars.com. Cops more deadly than terrorists. The Ferguson incident has exposed the underbelly of the United States, and now everyone is starting to pay attention that there is a higher risk of being killed by police, even when they chase or shoot at people that need not be you. The risk is 800% greater that you will be killed by police rather than a terrorist, writes Mark Armstrong. But that's not the half of it. Since 9/11, the police have killed more people than the terrorists are claimed to have done in those attacks. It's getting to the point that if you see a policeman in the USA, you better try to move away. Micah Zinko, writing for The Atlantic, put it a different way. The average American is more likely to be killed by his or her own furniture than by a terrorist. Yes, you're more likely to be killed by a honeybee sting. You're more likely to be bitten by a poisonous snake. More likely, and as this example says, to be killed by your own furniture. That's not to say that terror threats aren't real, but it's saying that we shouldn't just, discount one thing and focus on another. Just like we're talking about the militarized police. You don't want to say, let's worry about ISIS, which is a real threat because we have the open borders. We have all types of people coming over, and they always want to talk about, think about the children coming over, even though the DREAM Act allows you to be a 30-year-old man, a 31-year-old man, and say that you're a child. No, that's not a child at all. But when you have those guys coming over, you also have the open border policy that allows violent militants to come into our country as well. So yeah, the ISIS guys could very well be here active in the United States. Last week in Ferguson, Missouri, somebody was walking behind Jake Tapper of CNN with a T-shirt that said, ISIS is here. So you can have these threats here in the United States, and they need to be addressed. But let's not forget about the other things going on in our country. And that's why now even the White House is chiming in, I think, just to throw their hat in the ring, but they come out and they say they're reconsidering military-grade weapons for local law enforcement. And I think this is the White House just posturing, trying to say, hey, we're trying to do something about this. We don't want to look bad in the face of what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. But the fact about this is even mainstream news is now reporting about how the Pentagon is supplying these small-town law enforcement agencies with MRAPs, with heavy armor, with fully automatic weapons. And I do understand, law enforcement does face threats from time to time, heavy threats, like we saw in 1997, the North Hollywood shootout, which if you guys haven't seen that, I do encourage you to go to YouTube and watch that. Two guys rob a Bank of America. They have heavy armor, fully automatic rifles. They walk outside and engage in about a 40-minute shootout with the police. Two guys keeping, pretty much an entire police department at bay because the police department at that time only had shotguns, pistols, and, light body armor. So, the pistols didn't have the range, the shotguns, after, they spread out, didn't have the knockdown power to put these guys on the ground. So they were pretty much at the mercy of these two guys until, the end of the 40 minutes or so. So I understand that, yes, they do face real threats. But my issue about this is you shouldn't have these type of armaments, the heavy body armor, the riot shields, the CS gas, which you can't even use against a foreign enemy. You shouldn't have those in every type of situation. You shouldn't be shooting CS gas against peaceful protesters. You shouldn't be firing rubber bullets and wooden bullets indiscriminately at peaceful protesters. Because I told the police chief to his face, I said, hey, man, I was out here just like your officers were. It was a blinding cloud of tear gas and smoke gas for a mile down West Florissant Street in Ferguson, Missouri. Your officers could not see what they were shooting at. All they could see was a form in the cloud. They don't know if that was a tall 13-year-old or a 30-year-old man. And it shouldn't matter because either one of those guys would have the right to be on a public street in the United States of America. Because in Ferguson, Missouri, they were shooting at people standing inside their own front yards. When I was out there with Al Jazeera, they weren't just shooting at Al Jazeera, there were people in their front yards. The officer's like, go home, disperse. And he's like, I am home. I'm on my front porch. I can't stand on my front porch just because you guys want to play live action Call of Duty. So I think it's just posturing by these people.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
This has an aftertaste.
Tastes like Austin water? Yeah, it does. Ugh.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered through the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
High quality H2O.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, Monsanto's deadly pesticide, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
Yeah, it has that processed flavor to it.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances and many more, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Again, that's InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-888-253-3139.